While this may look like a regular Mazda 6, it is a totally different beast to the one that we know and love, and that's because under that bonnet is a new turbocharged petrol engine from the CX-9, plus there's a few other extras lying underneath. Today we're going to go for a quick spin to see exactly what's changed. Visually, not a great deal has changed here with the Mazda 6. It's always been a good looking car, but Mazda's just resolved the design. So cool looking grille there, little bit of change to the headlights and also that front bumper. Pedestrian impact built into the bonnet, but the biggest changes under the bonnet there. We're talking about a 2.5 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine. It's the engine this car has been yearning for. 170 kilowatts of power, 420 newton meters of torque. And if it sounds familiar, it's because this is the same engine they use in the biggest CX-9. We've got new wheels. We also have a car that measures in at about 4.9 meters long. So it's big enough for a growing family with stacks of room inside. Now, that subtle design change theme continues around the back here. So slightly different boot design, and the exhausts have also been moved out to the sides. Now, when I say family car, we're talking here about 474 litres of cargo space, which is really decent. Under the floor there, you're going to find a space saver spare tyre. And then if you need extra loading room, you simply pull these levers and the chairs just fold out of the way. Bob's your uncle. Mazda has brought some real luxury to this segment. Have a look at this, real Japanese wood in the doors. That's pretty cool stuff. Suede inlays in the doors as well, so it gives the car a really premium feel. Over here in the center armrest, you have 2 cup holders and your heated seat controls. It's really cool that they build it into there. Then a cubby in here as well. That reveals 2 USB outlets, but these aren't normal USB outlets. 2.1 amps. So this is high current charging. It means when you plug your device in, you won't have to wait 7 hours for it to charge, which is good stuff. Rear air vents. Now, what about legroom? Not as big as I thought it was going to be. So my driver's seat is quite far back. So you can see there's not a great deal of knee room there. Toe room is really limited as well, and headroom isn't fantastic. We're talking here about a car that was roughly around the same size as the previous gen Commodore. So accommodation in the back here isn't fantastic, but visibility is good out the window and it has a nice sort of airy feel to it. That's where you're going to be spending most of your time though, so let's check out the front seat. That luxury theme continues up the front here with a really well presented interior. So again, that material used on the dashboard gives this a super premium feel. And there's that wood again on the dashboard and also in the doors. So very cool stuff. This is new. So I guess the old climate control area of Mazda's just started to look a little bit dated. This new design really just streamlines it and gives it, again, just a premium look. It's a theme that continues with this car, but dual zone climate controls there. You have seat heating and cooling here on the top spec Atenza model. So that's all really great stuff. This screen's now bigger, 8-inch MZD Connect system, so touch screen when the car's stationary, and then you can also use the dials down here with shortcuts when the car's moving. This car also now gets a 360-degree camera, but bad news, folks, it is rubbish. It's probably one of the worst 360-degree cameras we've seen on a car. It's just hard to see any detail in this thing, and then at night time, it becomes virtually useless, so not very good stuff. Storage is excellent, so you've got plenty in the doors there. Storage up the front, a cubby here with a closing garage lid, and then a center console there with stacks of room, and also 2 extra USB ports and 12-volt outlet as well. Ahead of the driver, a 7-inch TFT display, which gives you your trip computer and also the speed. And then all the way over there, heads-up display, which looks fantastic with speed sign recognition. So it is fully featured. But question is, does this turbocharged engine transform the Mazda 6? Only one way to find out. In addition to the new engine, Mazda has gone to town on suspension revisions and also extra dampening for noise inside the cabin. Now, while it has worked well, you do still notice quite a lot of noise when you're out on the highway or on coarse chip roads. That's something that's inherent to this platform. They're not going to be able to solve all that easily, but the ride more than makes up for it. This is seriously, seriously good. It's so smooth when you hit some speed humps or potholes. It just does a nice job of gliding over everything without any dramas. The good news is, despite the fact you now have a turbocharged petrol engine, you don't have to sacrifice on fuel economy. We're talking 7.6 litres per 100 kilometres on the combined cycle, which is pretty impressive for a fairly pokey engine. And the good news is as well that it's 91 RON fuel compatible. Some of the cars in this segment with turbocharged engines need premium unleaded fuel, so it's not going to cost you a fortune to run. Let's talk about safety features, and they are jam-packed into this platform. We're talking about AEB that works up to 160 kilometers an hour, and AEB, autonomous emergency braking. It's the technology that'll stop the car if you don't. We've got lane departure warning, blind spot assistant. We have radar cruise control with stop and go functionality. I mean, it really is jam-packed with everything that you need for a safe passage. This heads-up display works really well. So ahead of me, I can see the lane departure warning. I can see that there's a car in front for the radar cruise control. I've got speed and also traffic sign recognition. So it's constantly monitoring the road and picking up the speed of all the traffic signs. And if you do pass one but didn't see it, it will give you the heads up there so you know all about it. Now, what about the engine? Does it transform the Mazda 6 into a sports car? Let's give it a kick. Just not too bad. Look, it's not really anything too crazy. I was kind of hoping for something Mazda 6 MPS-ish, but it doesn't quite go that far. But look, it is good. The 6-speed auto does a good job of managing torque, and there is a little bit of torque steer there, but with this G-vectoring control, it kind of just keeps everything nice and tidy. MZD Connect, I've got a bone to pick with you. It's just a little tricky to use, and it's not quite as intuitive as it was back when it debuted around 2013. Some of the menus are nested, and it means you've got to hunt to find things, which is a little annoying. You also can't pass commands through to Siri or the Google equivalent. So it means when you hit the voice control button, sometimes it does stupid things, like in the nav menu, you can't call people, which just seems like a logical thing to be able to do. It also means there's no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but there is some good news. It is coming, and Mazda is going to allow you to retrofit it to any car with MZD Connect back to 2013, which is pretty cool stuff. The new turbocharged petrol engine is available in both the GT and the Atenza, and the Atenza sits right at the top of the range, asking price of a little over $47,000 plus on-road costs. But you do get a stack of features, so you don't really feel like you're spending a bucket load of cash on it. So that's been your first look at the all-new Mazda 6 with turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine. This Atenza model really is good fun to drive and very refined. To read more about the Mazda 6 or any car in the Mazda range, head to caradvice.com. But in the interim, check out our YouTube channel and don't forget to subscribe.